peptides, which is another tool that we have in a tool chest to use to get these patients feeling better. So as you know, there's this whole gray market. I mean, peptides are the hottest thing on the market now. Mm-hmm. You can't open up Instagram without seeing somebody trying to sell you peptides, right? It's crazy. Even though they have no clinical background or any experience in this, which is just drives me bonkers. Mm-hmm. But there is this gray market of research use only peptides that's popped up that's not meant for human use, right? It literally says research use only on the vial, on the label. And people are going and buying these online. And this ties back to what you said about patients just want to feel better. People just want to feel good, right? So they're having to go outside of normal healthcare practices, outside of the normal healthcare system, go online and buy these shady peptides from a shady website with no medical supervision, right? Because somebody told them they were going to feel better if they take this thing, right? So what's your take on that? Like, is that accurate? Like, overall, on a high level, what's your take on that?
Yeah. So I remember when peptides first started to get more mainstream, you and I had conversations about it, and we were both like super skeptical, mm-hmm. right? Which I think is healthy. I think as a physician and a pharmacist, people are putting lives in your hands. Mm-hmm. You have to have a healthy bit of skepticism, but you have to be open too. And that's a fine balance.
It's a fine line.
It's hard to learn how to walk that balance. And so at first I was like, hard no. And then I took a step back and I said, well, people are going to use these things. I need to educate myself about them.
Yep.
So I started diving into the research, looking at things. You know, a lot of this is from mouse models or very small studies in humans, if there are studies in humans. Some agents do, some agents don't. And then I started building out a framework of how do we use these things safely, knowing my understanding of pharmacology, right? Because you can give me how something works and I can figure it out because of our backgrounds in pharmacology. We know that. We understand how drugs work inside the body. And so I had to really dive deep into our background in pharmacology to figure out guardrails for these things and who's an appropriate candidate and what's an appropriate candidate and how long to use it and when to use it and all of that. And I think the space right now is everybody's just like, oh, take these like they're water.
Oh, yeah. Take this. You're going to feel great, right? That's the sell from, I mean, I see like all these random people online just telling people to take things like BPC 157. You're going to feel great. I mean, do you even know what the drug does? Like, do you know what this peptide does? Like, and we could dive into those specific peptides here in a bit, but like the amount of misinformation that's out there about these peptides is just unfathomable. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it's allowed to even happen is crazy with no medical supervision. But it also shows you that there is a market for this from a business side, right? And a lot of it has to do with the fact that the healthcare system has let these people down.
Correct.
And they are seeking help outside of normal means to get these things, either because the physicians don't know anything about it, they don't want to learn about it, because they're still following guideline-based care. Very few people venture out. And this is what they're being told.
Yeah, absolutely. So it goes back to that approach that we talked about earlier. It's being very patient-centric. And we're not just throwing the kitchen sink at people. And I don't use more than 2 agents at a time.
Yeah, because you never know what's working.
You never know what's working. You never know how these things are going to interact, right? I'm a huge believer in informed consent. When I'm talking to people about these peptides, I'm telling them, here's what we know, here's what we don't know.
Yes.
We don't have any human studies on this. We have great mouse studies showing efficacy. We're not mice.
Yeah.
But that's where we have. And I think based upon the pharmacology of this agent, this is how I can use this agent to help you.
Yeah.
Right. And the difference is these aren't research grade peptides.
They're pharmaceutical grade.
They're pharmaceutical grade. There's a big difference in, cGMP, current good manufacturing practices, which is a set of principles you have to make when you're making things for human consumption. Mm-hmm. Research, you don't have to follow that, right?